Overthinking is a myth because thinking is always constant. It's always at 100%. Thought is always happening. No matter what you're doing, no matter what's going on, there's this constant stream of just internal dialogue we're all experiencing. And in my own life, I would definitely be somebody who dealt with what we would casually refer to as overthinking pretty regularly. And what ended up happening is because I was engaging with that problem from the lens that I was dealing with overthinking, I started trying to think less. And all that ended up doing was adding this additional layer of thought on top of everything I was already struggling with thinking about. So if I was having anxiety about something, dealing with some sort of incessant neurotic thoughts about something, worry, any of that stuff, I would have an additional line of internal dialogue that was basically like, well, you're thinking too much. So now I'm trying to think my way into thinking less. And so thought is it's a mathematical constant. It's not changing. It's always at this certain value. It's always at 100%. And what I discovered working backwards from that was that, okay, well, if thought is not something I can change, like the total amount of thinking I'm doing is not something I can change, what can I change? I can increase action, I can increase activity, I can increase something I'm doing. And this really grew out of when I was doing more competitions and I would be nervous thinking about something that's going to happen in a month, a couple weeks, however long out I had booked it. And I started to, because it was so acute, I was able to observe it versus something like generalized anxiety or just general overthinking. And it was very, like I said, acute. And so I could think, okay, I'm feeling specifically nervous about this event in this way, thinking through every possible scenario that might come up from it. And I started to wonder, what an odd nervous system response. Like, how is there any sort of evolutionary or survival benefit to me having this nervousness, having a racing mind in anticipation of something that's so far out that it doesn't help me? And I realized in there that the problem was the discrepancy between when I was feeling nervous and when I actually needed to do anything about it. So it was the fact that I was in a position where I couldn't act on any of the feelings I was having, any of that adrenal dump, that fired up nervous system, because I thought, okay, well, if I was having these sort of feelings to a healthy degree in the moment or leading up to it, yeah, that would definitely be beneficial. I don't want to be asleep at the wheel. I don't want to be drowsy. Like, I want to be switched on. I want my nervous system ready to go. Obviously, I don't want it to be hijacking everything and to get to the point where it's debilitating. But it's definitely has a utility. And I think if we, look at our biology as something that developed where our threats were more immediate, you would want to have that system switch on. When your problems were something right away, I need to chase something, or I need to run away from something, or I need to defend myself in some way, then of course having that immediacy, that nervous system dump, and then your thoughts start racing because you're trying to figure out how to deal with an immediate threat. Okay, there could be a benefit there. But I think that especially as we have developed the ability to perceive threats coming around the corner and perceive things further out, the constant racing mind and neurotic thinking starts to become detrimental. And so I say that to say that when I was having that nervous system, it's because that was a situation where I could not act. And because I couldn't act, I was overthinking about something I was not going to be able to control. Extrapolating that out a little bit and thinking about life more generally, I have found that, again, I can't think less. I've never found a way, all the meditation books I've read and podcasts I've listened to, I've never found a way to think less. It's always constant. There's always a constant internal dialogue going on. I'm dealing with a constant stream of just thoughts hitting me all the time. And I've never been able to think less, never been able to turn it off, turn it down. But what I have been able to do is increase the things that I'm doing, increase actions that I'm taking, increase whatever sort of moves I'm making towards a potential solution. And it leaves me with a quote I heard. I think I got this from the movie 7 Years in Tibet. I'll look it up and put it in the description. But basically, it's, if there is a solution to your problem, you should not worry. You should just do the solution. And if there's no solution to your problem, then you shouldn't worry, because there's nothing you can do about it anyway. So if you find yourself dealing with what we would casually label as overthinking, maybe racing thoughts, anything of that nature, for me, I've never found a way to minimize that, but maybe this will help you too. Take a step back and think, what can I do about it? Or what can I do in general? You know, maybe there's nothing you can do about the problem hitting you, but doing exercise, taking care of chores, taking care of your body, getting into a position where you're doing something, at the very least your thoughts are more meditative and focused on something in the present, and your thoughts are connected to the actions, and there's no longer this separation between mind and body, because something's gonna move, something's gonna work, and if your body's not working, your brain is gonna start working.